Hello everyone, this is International Master Daniel Naroditsky doing my third video for OnlineChessLessons.net, and today I am going to be playing a blitz game against National Master Will Stewart, and we are both going to be commenting live on our ends. And without further ado, here we go. And I am Stephen Curry, and I am white, named after Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warrior of the NBA. So I'll just play 1e4. And he responds with a Sicilian defense, and I'm developing my knight f3 and d6, and I am striking in the center with d4. Now it takes with a knight, and this is the open Sicilian, and he is going to play the Najdorf, and I'll play bishop e2, a quiet line. So now e5. I think I'll play just knight b3, and so far this is theory. So bishop e7, castles, and he shouldn't castle here, right? So bishop e3 now, and if he plays bishop e6, which I think he will, he'll play knight bd7, and I think that's inaccurate because now his bishop is locked in, but I guess he'll play b6 here, yeah. So White's idea usually here is to try and control the d5 square. The question's how to do that. I believe that I'll play bishop f3. Now maybe I'll follow up with queen e2, and then I'll play a rook on d1, really controlling the d5 square. He has the possibility of sacrificing on c3 and then taking on e4, but I believe that's dubious because, well, we'll see. But I mean, these positions usually are for players who like, slow positional maneuvering as opposed to sort of really tactical wild positions. So he's playing queen c7. I might just go ahead and go for it all with g4, but I think I'll play g3 and bring my bishop back to g2, and then I'll be able to play f4 at some point. So let's see what he does here. I mean, for him, maybe rook fd8 looks reasonable. So now let's follow up with my plan with bishop g2. And the thing about blitz is that making a plan and then following it up is very important, because then you can save time, thinking about every single move. So I made the plan of playing g3 and bishop g2, and now I can save a lot of time. So he's playing knight c5. So I think I'll trade the knight here. So he'll probably take back with a d-pawn. Yes, he will. Now a possibility is squeeze him on the king side with g4, and I think that's what I will do. So h6 probably for him looks reasonable. Maybe g4 was rash, yeah. Because now he just plays knight h7, and then I'm really weakened. So it's not the end of the world. Let's see what I can do here. Now g5 is a possibility, breaking open the king side, but then again my pawn structure will be extremely weakened, and I don't want to do that. So if h4, and then he goes back with the knight h7, and he's threatening my pawn. I really don't want to allow that either. So g4 was probably a mistake on my part. So I think I'll play f3. I mean, it's not the end of the world. We can still play. I mean, he'll probably trade on d1 and then play rook d8, and it's kind of steering towards a draw. But, maybe I'll play something like bishop f2, bishop to g3, attacking the e5 pawn. So let's see what he does here. Yeah, no, c4. So he wants to play bishop c5 and trade off the bishop, and my position will not be great. So let's play bishop h3, threatening g5, and then the attack on the c8 rook is opened. So, also in blitz, it's very, very important. Oh, he's playing g5. So he's just locking up the king side, which is really risky because he himself is weakening his position now, but on the other hand, I now don't really have a kingside attack. So again, blitz is really important to create a lot of threats, because then your opponent might, not react fast enough and blunder something. So, the position here is about equal. Maybe it's slightly better for him, but again, in blitz, everything can change in a matter of 2 or 3 moves. So bishop c5, he just wants to trade off the bishops and leave me with a bad bishop on f1. And I think I'll play king g2. So getting off that unpleasant pin. So now, My idea would be just to attack his c4 pawn, just a tiny bit tender, also his g5 pawn. Maybe I'll play something like h4 at some point, just try to squeeze him. So I think a bishop c5 on his part was just a slight error, because now my bishop on f1 pretty much comes alive, attacking the c4 pawn, and he is thinking here, so he's just getting a bit low on time. And, taking on e3 doesn't make too much sense, because I'll just take back with my queen. And otherwise, h4 might be a really unpleasant threat. So he takes on e3, and I'll take back. Now maybe queen c5 is what he's thinking about. But then I'll just take it, and I'll play rook d6. Okay, so king g7. So, question is, what do I do now? And it's really important to make very quick decisions in Blitz, because you don't have the luxury of thinking for a long time on every move. So, how about bishop e2, just bringing my bishop closer to the center and just making a neutral move. So, the question again for him is if queen c5 is good, trying to trade off the queens, but then I'll just take it and I'll play rook d6, attacking the b6 pawn. He's playing knight h7, so now his position is getting passive. And usually I really want to make use of that, but here he seems to be very, very solid, and it's tough to do anything. So I think I'll play knight b1. And the idea of this puzzling move is to transfer my knight to a3, attacking the c4 pawn. The drawback is, of course, that my position gets just a bit passive here. So knight f8. Oh, he's transferring his knight to e6 and then to f4. But that's not the end of the world, so I think I'll play knight. Okay, so c3. Yeah, something I did was really wrong here. So he's getting his knight to e6 and then to either d4 or f4. But okay, I mean, this is, again, not the end of the world. So let's see what I can do here. So if bishop c4, that's possible. Another possibility is to play knight c4. But then he can just play b5 at some point. So I think I'll play bishop c4. So now he's getting really low on time. Let's see what he will do. Knight d4, okay. So first possibility is to sack the exchange and take on d4. Then I will get at least 2 pawns. And why not indeed? So takes on d4, takes back on d4. f6. Okay, I missed f6, but okay, I'll take on c3, and then I have 2 pawns for the exchange. My knight is very passive, but okay. I guess I can try to improve him. So my next move will probably be queen e3, unless he plays queen f4. And he plays h5, so he's trying to just crash open my position, and it's succeeding up to now. So what should I do here? And so if I play h3, he just takes, and the h file's opened. So I can't do that. And so what else should I do? I guess I should take g takes h5 at my positions, but yeah, I shouldn't have sacked the exchange, just because now rook h8 is very strong. Okay, but it's not the end of the world. I'll play queen e1, and then I'll play queen g3, and I am still in this game very much. So plus he's getting low on time again, of course. So let's see. Yeah, so rook h8, queen e1. Okay, I'm still defending here. Alrighty, so yeah, again, if rook takes h5, I play queen g3, defending the pawn on h2, and he plays rook d8, so he's trying to create threats here. But I think I'll just play bishop d3, and now suddenly my position is really improving. So knight goes to c4. Oh, he plays queen f4. It's funny, every time I think my position is getting good, he's making some very strong moves. So h3 here, stopping g4. It's pretty much forked. Wow, f5. Trying to tear open my position. So queen c3 check here, making use of the weakness of his position. Now the question is, what do I do if he plays king h7? And I still have some time left to consider my moves. So queen f6 might lead to just a perpetual, and I don't really want to draw in this position, but there seems to be no other way to go, because queen f6, otherwise he just takes f takes c4, and despite being low on time, his position is really good, and I might just get mated. So I think I'll play queen f6, and this game might end in a draw if he plays queen e2 check, but I might actually evade perpetual. Say queen d2 check, I play king f1, because if I evade perpetual, his king is really weak. So here, king f2, now bishop e2, covering up the perpetual. Now, besides having 5 seconds left, I'm having 2 pawns for the exchange and a very strong position. So actually 3 pawns for the exchange. So bishop d3 now. He's playing rook e6. Now knight c4. He's playing f. Okay, he's blitzing out his moves because he has 1 second left. Okay, knight takes b5. 4 pawns now for the exchange. Okay, position is winning. So here, just b4. My pawns are rolling. So b5. Okay, bishop d3. Oh wow, I have 12 seconds left. So here is where it gets fun. c5, b6. Here. Now bishop d5. And he has lost on time, so a very fun game indeed, where a really seesaw game. So it started out with a Sicilian, let me just rewind. It started out with a Najdorf, a rather tame Najdorf, and I was trying to control the d5 square, and it was kind of quiet, and I tried to press him on the king side, and he created this weakness of f4, trying to transfer his knight there with knight h7, knight f8, knight e6. But now I just play bishop c4, isolating the d4 pawn, and now I take on d4, which might have been very rash, because now, my king is really tender here, and he plays h5, trying to make use of that. Now queen e1, transferring my queen to g3. He plays rook d8, bishop d3. Now h3, stopping g4. Queen c3 check, queen f6. And now I have this nice way to evade perpetual with bishop e2. And the endgame is just good for me. I mean, I have 2 pawns for the exchange. He's very low on time. He loses the 3rd pawn, and this game is over. So here, and okay, he resigned. So thank you very much for listening. This was extremely fun, and I hope to make a 4th video soon. So again, thank you for listening. This is International Master Daniel Naroditsky, and farewell, listeners.